Hello, my shadows, and welcome back to Custom Robo Part 16 or 17. I'm not sure which. We're picking up with a conversation that's heavy because we're going to be getting a lot of information. So kick back, relax, and be prepared, like Scar would say. Well, that was awkward. Anyway, where are we? This room belonged to our leader, who passed away not too long ago. C's leader? Yes. Someone here needs to hear my leader's final words. This is why I brought you to this place. Who could that someone be? I wonder. Someone? Who? Who is it? Please, listen. These are my leader's final words. That's actually a title of something I did. Kakashi, you'll never know how proud I am that you have come so far. Oh my gosh, you know what guys, I just realized something, and I didn't do this on purpose, but Kakashi's dad in this game died, and Kakashi's dad in the actual manga anime dies too, and he's known as the White Fang, Sakamo. Hey, Kakashi! How come he knows your name? That voice... Oh, I should say, you'll never guess. I'll never tell. It's because... I'm a member of the Z Syndicate too! What the heck? I never chose that before. What'd you say? You've been lying to us this whole time? That's right, I'm a double agent. That's right, I fooled y'all. It's a sting! You're joking, right, Kakashi? It's just a prank, bruh. Yeah, I'm just joking. Why? Why would you joke at a time like this? Because I can. Levity, bruh. Let me live. Not necessarily. What? Kakashi is the son of our former leader. What? Actually, come to think of it, it does sound like my dad. What? It can't be. The Z Syndicate's leader is really Kakashi's father? Why are you so shocked, girl? Like, your brother is actually in Z Syndicate too. Like, come on now. Please, spare me with that mess. Let me continue playing the message. Kakashi, if you're listening to this message, that means Rahu has returned, and our time is short. I wish that I could have been there to see you, to fight with you in this final, glorious moment. However, if you are hearing this, it also means my time has come, and I am gone from this world. I have given my loyal friend, Sergei, details on your mission. Trust him as you would have trusted me. You do not have much time left. Give Sergei the watch I gave you to care for so long ago. With the power contained in that watch, you can defeat Rahu. I failed you as a father in life, and my final wish in death is nothing but a fool's errand. I'm sorry, son. He told me never to take off the watch, but he's wanted me to hand it over to Sergei. That was his final message. Kind of gathered that, but yeah. The watch. My dad told me to keep it on at all times, never to take it off. He said it over and over. I promised him so many times. And he left me. Kakashi. Sergei, what's going on? Like you and Roy, I learned about the outside world when I became a Class S commander. Though you disappeared right after you found out about it. Sergei, why did you leave without telling us? Because I met my boss. Boss? You mean Z's boss? No, girl, he means the boss of the grocery store. Yes, Z's boss. When I found out about the outside world, I became curious. I wanted to explore it. And there, I met my boss. I was surprised to discover somebody living in the outside world. And? He asked me, why are you here? And I told him that I wanted to know the truth about the outside world. Then he asked, is there something you need to protect? And I said yes. Marcia, my sister, you were the one I wanted to protect. Sergei. We spoke for some time, discussing life in our dome and outside. Finally, he asked me, do you want to protect this world from annihilation? Annihilation? Yes. I have to admit, I really didn't understand his question. but I could see in his eyes that he was very serious indeed. I stopped to think, and I said yes. Then he said, "As long as you remain in your world, you will never see the truth. The truth lies in darkness. If you discover an inconsistency in your perfectly ordered world, where all things are controlled, anything that cannot be explained, come see me again, and I may be able to help you. Tell no one that we met. Tell no one what we have discussed." With that, we parted ways. I thought about what he said, but I couldn't find any inconsistencies. If there were, you'd be like, "Hold it!" Like Phoenix Wright, pointing out contradictions. That's because there are none. Roy, be quiet and listen. Continue, Sergey. She's such a boss. She's such a bossy chick. Then, suddenly I found it. It was right in front of me from the start. So build me up, Buttercup, don't break my heart. When I returned home, I saw my sister waiting for me. And it struck me. The inconsistency. That single, unexplainable thing. It was Marcia, her special power. That's right. Her strange power was a gift. And my late parents, they were suffering. Sergey. To all appearances, Marcia is an ordinary girl. She actually looks like a Vocaloid, not ordinary, but we're gonna run with it. And yet, the kids teased her. The scientists poked and prodded, and still they learned nothing. That's rough. Marcia didn't want to go, but the researchers forced her, kicking and screaming. So that's why Marcia hated the Robo researchers. I found out what they did to Marcia at the research center. It wasn't science. It was torture. They say that all people are created equal, but my sister's power stole equality from her. Dang. If this isn't an inconsistency, then what is? How did I go so long without questioning this? I couldn't wait. Once I'd seen the inconsistency clearly, I had to leave, to meet that man again. I told him about Marcia, and he said, in order to understand, you must know everything. And he told me the real truth, something even most Class S commanders do not know. The real truth. What? What do you mean? You're all aware that, centuries ago, Rahu nearly wiped out the human race. Yeah, we were told that Rahu annihilated all the dome cities people lived in except for ours. You were never told the truth about the outside world. You believe we lived in domes up here? Well, yeah. I mean, where else would we live? This is like the Truman Show or something. We live free in the outside world. We lived in vast cities in the open air. Rahu destroyed all of that. What? Really? Originally, humans didn't live in dome cities. We lived outside. The outside world was our home. Rahu destroyed all of our cities centuries ago. The few who survived, they found an area that had minimal damage. And, with the help of robotechnology, they built a dome to create a livable environment for a new community. I see. We hadn't heard about that part. We thought people had always lived inside those domes. You are correct. But there is still more that you do not know. Dome builders left Rahu inoperative in the outside world before they sealed themselves in. Sergey, it sounds like you're saying we deliberately chose to live in a cage, like animals. That's right. The dome protects us, but also keeps us trapped, caged. Wait a sec. You said Rahu is inoperative. So, how did we stop Rahu last time? Same way we stopped Shadow Queen, sealing her up, I guess. Just kidding. Rahu possessed no form of its own. It was more like a spirit than a living creature. What? No form? That doesn't make any sense. We saw it. It looked like a custom Robo. I'll explain that later. Let me continue, though. Originally, Rahu was invisible, formless, but still physical, still capable of inflicting damage. We couldn't see it, but it was a real creature, and it evolved rapidly. Evolved? Not in the traditional sense, but yes, that's correct. Rahu has two fundamental behaviors. The first is to acquire new targets, in this case, us. Once it identifies its prey, Rahu destroys it, swiftly and utterly. It appropriates any useful abilities its victim possessed, anything it has not encountered before. Then, like a chrysalis, it goes dormant, awakens with new skills, and continues its hunt. Metamorphosis. I guess it really is evolving. So, what you're saying is that it targets a creature with abilities it doesn't have and steals them? Just like Kakashi, he adopts and copies their jutsu. Then it turns into a pupa, rests for a bit, and changes into an even scarier monster? What's a pupa? Yeah, that's just about the size of it. That's the gist. That's just a secondary behavior, though. Its primary function is to annihilate every living thing. So, it's invisible, it can learn to do everything we can do, and all it wants is to kill. Everything? Right. That about sums it up. So what can we do? I mean, other than just roll over and die. How did they stop it hundreds of years ago, when it was running amok? Custom Robos. It was because of Custom Robos that they were able to defeat Rahu. Custom Robos? Y'all gotta repeat everything it says? Yes. Back then, Custom Robos were nothing but children's toys, like robotic action figures. It may sound strange, but even now, there is much we do not know about Custom Robos. Rahu's destructive rampage was at its peak, and we were all but extinct. When, suddenly, Rahu targeted a young child's robo-toy. Then, something inexplicable happened. Rahu merged with the Robo, melded itself with the Robo. That's weird. Why did he do that? He's such a derp. I'm not sure. Some people think there's a connection between Rahu and the Custom Robo. It almost sounds like Rahu did a dive into that Custom Robo and, I don't know, got stuck or something. And that's why Rahu looks the way it does now. That's why we can even see it in the first place. That's correct. Wow, you guys are smart. Now that our enemy was visible, we had a chance to fight back, and we seized it. The government remodeled the Custom Robos as weapons to battle Rahu's new Robo form. Finally, after many grueling battles, we defeated Rahu. Actually, let me correct myself. We didn't defeat it, but we were able to trigger its dormant cycle. Put it to sleep, I guess. The dormant Rahu had no new information to assimilate, and so it didn't evolve and didn't awaken. So it couldn't basically, take on new abilities. We couldn't defeat Rahu, though. Instead, we bought ourselves some time. So that's the rest of the story. We didn't know. But wait! Don't you think that's a little funny? Rahu was capable of destroying the entire world, and we stopped it with a child's toy? I know what you're thinking. Rahu couldn't be stopped simply with the Custom Robos. There was something else. A device designed to stop Rahu by targeting his robo-systems. A device? Is it my watch? Sergey, why should we trust you? You're a member of the Z Syndicate now, and a traitor! He's like Sasuke who deflected from the Hidden Leaf. But yeah, my watch basically, what are those famous Switch watches? They got nothing on mine, let me tell you. Even if you're telling the truth, why does it matter? What's your point? You're right, it doesn't matter. Let me ask you, Roy. When did you first find out about Rahu's attack? Why are you suddenly... I first learned the truth when I became a Class S commander. How about you, Captain Mira? It was the same. I didn't know a thing until I was promoted. Don't you think that's odd? What? This is the single most significant and dramatic event in human history, and no one knows. It's classified knowledge. The government dictates who should and should not know. But how could they stop the survivors from passing on these stories to their children? That's true, they would tell them. Soldier Boy, tell them. The people respect the word of the government. They knew it was confidential. Come on now, Roy, be logical. They would not even. They would be like, girl, did you hear him? Oh, child. They'd be like, all over it. Do you actually believe that the government has the power to silence such a terrible thing? Can you think of any other reason why no one ever talked about this horrific event? It does seem difficult to imagine. So many years have passed, and nobody knew the full scope of it? Even becoming a Class S commander didn't explain everything. The reason this is such a well-kept secret is not because the survivors chose to keep it a secret. It's because their memories were wiped clean. It is a secret because no one was allowed to remember. What? Oh, for crying out... Look, this is all starting to get real confusing here. What you're saying is that everyone, and I mean everyone, forgot about Rahu entirely? That's right, they mind wiped like Men in Black up in there. That's correct. That's impossible! What could possibly make everyone just forget about this all at once? Brainwashing. Have you ever heard of that? Oh, nothing could make that happen. Naturally. Are you saying someone devised a way to erase every living human's memory entirely? Oh, I remember now. Yes. The engineers of this foolish plan wanted to erase everyone's memories and implant false ones. Our government carried out this plan hundreds of years ago, once the dome was completed. What? The government found a way to make everyone forget about Rahu? Yes. The world exists entirely within this dome. Outside the dome, there is nothing. We are all raised thinking that this dome is our true home, where we will live and die. That is the great lie. The memory implant told us all that this dome contained mankind's entire world. But why? Rahu will awaken. It is inevitable. Could you live a normal life, knowing Rahu would return? But never knowing when? I see. It was to give us a sense of security, even if it was just a lie. But how is that possible? What could possibly erase everyone's memory like that? I don't know, but they did it. They made a device that could erase everyone's memory. The device is right here in this room. I can't believe it. I'm sure we would have heard of something like that. Why would you if it was something that erased your memory, girl? Come on now. Be smart. Captain Mira, I've already told you. There are some things that not even Class S commanders have been told. How do we know you didn't make this whole story up? I suppose you have no evidence. I mean, that's just like a cop needing to corroborate your story. Like, psh, nah. Except that one of these devices still exists to this very day. Really? Where is it? Of course he would ask. I got it! Harry, you do? It's at the lab. The Custom Robo Research Lab. That's why the Z Syndicate was there. Not quite. You're right. You're the man, Harry. Stupid. No, it's not at all. No, it's not at the lab. Awkward. I thought so. Harry's not that smart. There's no way he could have figured it out before me. Stupid. Aw. So, where is it? Kakashi. Yes? Your father's watch. That's the device. It can erase people's memories. You've had it all along. What? Kakashi's watch? That's why Z's leader said something about defeating Rahu with Kakashi's watch. I see. The device that was used to defeat Rahu was the one that could erase people's memories. Yes. Hundreds of years ago, that very device helped us defeat Rahu. Sergei! Why does Kakashi have it? How did something like that wind up with him? Hello, Marcia, my dad. He's a Z Syndicate leader, ring any bells, you know what I'm saying? What was Kakashi's father like? He was a distinguished scientist, one of the highest ranking officials in the government. That is why he told the truth. We all live with false memories implanted by the government. When he learned that people had been deprived of the truth for so long, he began to have doubts. He questioned the ethics of the plan, and he knew that Rahu would rise once again. Marcia, my leader told me where your power came from. It is a result of the erasure, a side effect. Right now, every aspect of the brain's development is controlled. The side effect was unexpected. Nobody realized that the dramatic change in environment and the memory blocks and implants would generate this effect. No one could explain what exactly created Marcia's power. Marcia, your power is born from the tragedy humans suffered hundreds of years ago. That's rough. That is so deep. That is like, woo, weighty. Let's get back to the subject. You said that Kakashi's father had doubts about the false memories. Was he the only one in the government who felt this way? He must have been something. He was. He stole the only remaining model of the memory erasure device. He escaped to the outside world with several of his colleagues. I'm sure the government must have been quick to send someone to them. I skipped it, sorry. Yes. The government soldiers had one goal: to retrieve the memory erasure device. They searched all over the outside world for him, but he was always one step ahead. Instead of taking the device with him into exile, he hid it inside of the domed city itself. He reconfigured it into the watch so that no one would be able to identify it. And then he gave the watch to Kakashi. Yes, to the one person he could trust. Someone who didn't know the power of the object he held. And that's when your leader formed the Z Syndicate. And all this time, the Z Syndicate's goal has actually been to inform the people of the truth. It was at first, but they went rogue. We wanted people to know the truth, to prepare themselves in case Rahu did attack again. But as time passed, he began to worry, to doubt himself. He began to worry that informing everyone of the truth would only trigger mass panic, which makes sense, I guess. He realized that it might be best to find a way to stop Rahu without having the people know about it. That was the moment when my leader formed a syndicate made up of the strongest fighters. Strong fighters. That's when he recruited you. So why does it sound so shady the way he said that? And that's when they recruited you, because you're strong. I wanted to save this ruined world. In order to do that, I knew I would have to help him. He told me he needed someone to support him, no matter how insane his orders might seem. But you could have told Marcia before you left. You owed her at least that much, didn't you? To be honest, I had planned on leaving Marcia before I met your father. Oh snap, that's savage. No, just kidding. There's a reason. You guys will see. My sister would do anything I told her. If I'd stayed, she would never have left my shadow. It was unacceptable. Unthinkable. I wanted her to think for herself. To grow into the commander she is. I thought that if I weren't around, she would have the opportunity she needed to think for herself. That's why I left the way I did. Really? Really, man? But I always watched over her. I would have come to her aid in a second if she were ever in danger. I left, even though I knew I ran the risk of alienating her, of making her hate me for leaving her. Sergei, I've learned something. My partners taught me something more valuable than I'd realized. Spoiling someone isn't love. Sometimes you need to be strict in order to be compassionate. That's when I figured it out. That's when I knew that my older brother still cared about me. That he still loved me. And I wondered if that wasn't why you had left me in the first place. They helped me to understand, and that's why I still love you. Thank you, Sergei. You've grown so strong, Marcia. The more I hear about this, the more complicated the situation gets. I agree. Still, after hearing all of that, it sounds like Z formed in order to help out mankind. But what about Oboro? That guy went to Rahu for himself. When our leader grew ill, Oboro and Eliza made a grab for power. That's when it began to crumble. The more they knew about Rahu's amazing powers, the more they wanted to possess it. They'd forgotten our leader's goals, and they planned such foolishness as diving to Rahu. I guess there's always one selfish sicko in every group. He's looking at you, Roy. I'm just kidding. I acted as Oboro's subordinate while looking for the chance to strike back. He's like the epitome of double agent. But wait, why was Eliza at the lab? Did it have something to do with Rahu? Oboro and Eliza both knew the memory erasure device was the key to destroying Rahu. But they didn't know our leader had already stolen it. He was never sure he could trust them. Smart man. They wanted that device so they could tame Rahu for their own ends, instead of destroying it. Eliza must have thought that the custom Robo research lab would have such a device. That's why she attacked the lab. See? Yep, you were right, Harry. You were right that they would think that. Just as I thought! Eliza thought the device was at the research lab. Give yourself a pat on the back, man. I am smart. I think just like the Z Syndicate's leaders. That's not a compliment, but alright. Which simply shows how flawed her thinking truly is. Wow. That's so hilarious. We've spoken long enough, Kakashi. May I borrow your watch? I have a chip your father gave me. I'm going to insert it into your watch now. Once I've inserted the chip, the watch's memory erasure functions will be restored. I'm not gonna give it to him. I think I don't trust you, man. I think you're lying to me. I'm sorry. I can't give you my watch. What are you saying? That device can destroy Rahu. I can't trust Sergey. He's part of the Z Syndicate. I'm not serious, guys. I'm just doing this for fun. Well, yeah, but I thought we sorted all that out. Were you not listening? Don't forget, your father was also part of the Z Syndicate. He founded it even. Yeah, that's right. And that tape of your father even told you to hand over the watch. But Sergey was with Oboro. He was trying to get Rahu. He's in league with them still. Good point. Well made. But then Sergey helped us defeat Oboro. Could have been a ruse. Ooh, yeah. Good memory. Kakashi, you must trust me. Not really, no. It's okay, Sergey. Kakashi understands, right? Yes. I'm sorry, Sergey. What if I said no again? I just needed to test you to see how you reacted. I'll give you my watch. Really, boy? What was that all about? Thank you. Watch while I insert the chip. Alright, guys. The part's about to end a little bit after this. I'm not going to leave you hanging like that. I'm just going to go a little bit longer, and then I'm going to end things. See what this does. I've inserted the chip into your watch. The memory erasure device is now functional. Okay, so what's happening? What's up? Kakashi, I believe this is still yours. Your father put it in your hands for a reason. Point towards your target and activate it. I understand. Really? Where am I supposed to point? Like, to the sky? To the ground? That's Sergey? We're almost near the end. Let's go destroy Rahu. Let's go destroy Rahu. Do you know where to find it? I've attached a tracking device to Rahu. If it's transmitting, we'll know where Rahu is. It's kind of like the fourth Hokage with his, tags. I think he would apply it to a kunai and then it would lock on to a location he could teleport. But anyway, let's hurry. With every passing second, Rahu continues to evolve. It's still evolving? Duh. Like I said before, Rahu evolves. Rahu is especially drawn to negative feelings, hatred, envy, greed. It absorbs that mental energy, uses it to fuel its metamorphosis. So, that's why it's looked different every time we've seen it. It's not just its appearance that's changing. It's growing stronger with each evolution. The device will erase Rahu's genetic memory, so that it stops evolving. That makes sense. I fear that Rahu is resting now, preparing for its next evolution. We can defeat it if we erase its memory and eliminate its advantage. Let's go. Alright guys, in the next part we're going to be heading out to face off against Rahu at last. So, where exactly are we heading though? Okay, so we're free to move on our own? Okay, cool. I think we're going to get into a fight. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to get into a little scrap. Hey bro, what's up man? It's alright, he just fainted. He won't wake up for a while. We need to focus on Rahu now, not Oboro. Let's hurry. Alright, guys. Yes. Next part, where there's part 17, part 16, 18, I don't know what it is. But we're going to be finally seeing what's up with Rahu. And what's the matter with him. I'm going to try to get over here while I'm, ending off the part. Because it will cut down on time when we actually begin. So, let's see. Do we have to seriously walk all the way back by ourselves? Like, what is this? And there's now 6 of us, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So, we're going to be making our way out to the outside world. And I'm pretty sure we have to face off against a lot of people leading up to Rahu. So, it's not going to be over for, like, maybe... I think this LP will be 2 or 3 more parts, if I recall. Because I know we get into, like, a lot of fights. And then we have the face-off. And then we have a little bit after that. Something like that. So, it'll be a little bit of time before we're completely done with this LP, but you guys will see. Yeah, we seriously have to go all the way back here ourselves. And where does this lead? This is where Marcia came from. Okay. Never mind. Never mind, I'll find somewhere he is. Okay, everyone, please follow me. I'll use the tracking device to locate Rahu. Got it! We're counting on you, Sergey. Alright, let's move on. I guess we're gonna be going to the amusement park, if I recall correctly, or are we going to somewhere else? Actually, I'm curious. Are we going here first? Yes, we are. This little here amusement park is far from amusing. It's pretty dilapidated. It's run down and damaged and hideous. The signal's getting stronger. Rahu must be around here somewhere. Why does it remind me of, like, Barbie's Horse Ride, Mystery Adventure CD-ROM, where you have a tracking device to find stuff? What is this place? What, can you tell by the sign, girl? I don't know much about the world before Rahu came, but I think it was some sort of amusement park. What's an amusement park? I think it was designed as a place for people to have fun, judging by the outlook of the buildings. Really? It doesn't look all that amusing to me. That's right. No place is amusing once it's been reduced to rubble. We have need to hurry. Captain, we must go. That was the most awkward sentence I've seen in a long time. Hold it! Alright guys, now I'm going to really keep you in suspense. So I'll see you next time and we'll find out who is telling us to hold it like Phoenix right up in here. Anyway, bye guys and smiles all around.